Ngebizo ngingibongane Benedict Masango uDumako Phondro Elibovu lahlaba namhlanje ngalahlala. So I am the founder and the artistic director of Zes'khethu Storytelling Festival. So Zes'khethu Storytelling Festival, it started in the year 2018, but the idea then we started to discuss it earlier on. It was me and my partner, Ipileng Kyabakhethu Matlaku, the founder, co-founder and producer of Zes'khethu Storytelling Festival. So Zes'khethu Storytelling Festival is an indigenous storytelling festival. What I mean by that is the fact that we curate the story around our African folk tales and we embrace where we come from through telling stories. We started the festival in 2018. Mara, its inception or conception that started in the year 2017, and we tried to come up with maina, that would make sense, that would represent who we are as Africans. And Zes'khethu, the word Zes'khethu came about, and then it just made sense. It was like a match made in heaven. So the idea behind Zes'khethu actually celebrate heritage and indigenous storytelling. But when we began, it was 2017. That's when the idea actually came. In us exploring the space and seeing a zoo, and we're like, oh, something cool could happen here. But then we started to work around the idea of doing indigenous stories, but using theater to do that instead of doing it the actual traditional way, and that's about it. The first ever, that was 2018. So we did it 2018 Heritage Month because that was our target month, We had such a successful run because then we struggled also in terms of really getting the place where we're gonna do it, having to negotiate with the zoo, doing it out of nothing, no money, nothing. So we dug in our pockets and to try and put this thing together. Also not knowing exactly what we're doing, but saying, you know what, let's experiment.
And when you take a shower, it must be 4 minutes or less.
Mina Kamalam Abumile Maurice Matutu. Yeah, you party Zes'khethu, artist, song performer. When you performela, 3, 4, and 5. It's got match.
Yeah.
Ready. Ngale nice is kid. Like from scratch. What year was it? Was it 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere there. Yeah, that year. Yeah. And it started as an idea, and they shared the idea with me, the storytelling, and I loved it so much. And I joined in Well, at that time, like we had to start from scratch from whatever we have. So we had to spamba and a song you see. And now as I please we divide some work. I remember I did a Love Child first day, I did a new one with the first festival. And then the next festival, and then I collaborated with them. That was 2018. Collaborated with them. And then we did the same play, but now with multiple cast, and we grew it even further. And then 2019, I feed again. That's COVID-19.
Tunzi left and followed the cloud. And when you got into the middle between the east and the west, the cloud stopped. And again, the cloud hit a house behind the trees. And Tunzi walked to see what was happening.
last year, Zes'khethu Storytelling. Yes, beautiful show, written by Bungan Masango. Yes, and then yes, is really food much. Devising some other works food. Yabona mangabe uyayazi ikasi. Sikunika ikasi vele. Like last year ngeselfie just sikunika ikasi. Not this year sikunika ikasi vele. Nesitalakisi yabona like ekhoneni laphana. Kuyaxoxiwe so manje sikunika imigozi leyo vele ngasesitalakisini laphana ngasekhawash yabona la majidala amadayisi bahleli so yazi ukuthi mara xoxa indaba eziningi. So yeah, ngifuna ukukhuluma ekuningi abantu mele bafike bazobona ukuthi kuxoxwa ini. Yeah. But no, beautiful work. We collaborated namanye ama-artists ukuthi they are very talented. Yeah.
Mission was successful.
It's the year 2022 when we are starting to prepare for our festival, which is coming in the year 2023. So we began in such a nice way because in October, that's when preparations began.
The planning process is tricky, because what makes it tricky is first we have to propose, right? And in proposing, we have to sell our idea and vision to our potential funders and sponsors. Our potential funders and sponsors loved our idea and said, it's fine, we'll give you the money for it. And from there on, it's having to go back to the drawing board, figuring out, okay, because we got X amount of money, how many people would we need, where would we get them, and all of that.
We programmed our festival a little bit different this year because then we actually go the process of doing workshops and devising plays, and something that people are not aware of. When the audience comes, they're probably thinking we wrote this script a long time ago and they are there, and no. We devise. So our festival allows a performer to come in with nothing, and we start to discuss concepts and we build it from there. So that's the beauty around what we do, you know.
Zes'khethu this year had the phase 3. We had the tour, we then had the festival itself, and then we also had it online. We had an online streaming phase.
Zes'khethu Storytelling Festival has its own complications because of the setup, because of where we're doing it. Most of it is outdoor theater. But what has been beautiful then this year is the fact that we started with a beautiful tour where we were able to go and visit our special schools in our communities. We went to Mpumalanga, we went to Northwest, and we also did something special here in Pretoria.
Yeah.
Zes'khethu Storytelling.
Zes'khethu Storytelling Festival.
No, fantastic. Zela kwamhlanga. Siyazi ukufumela abantwana vele eZes'khethu. Akuzoba mnandi. I can't wait for the experience.
Zes'khethu Storytelling Festival.
Zes'khethu Storytelling Festival.
Asiqale izolo vele eWinterfeld, and then namhlanje la eMpumalanga, and it has been a beautiful experience, creating these shows and now being able to take them on tour.
The principal of this school, Masedi Special School. They are severely intellectually disabled. I believe it's a calling. The way because of their intellectual disability.
Matanduke Center ke sekolo sa bana ba nang le disability, but kwa Thandori dila ka mental disability. Go tla ga rona fa mo rona ke awareness, le thusa go tlisa awareness ka disability, because se le re bontshitseng sona ge le ne le perform fa e ne le go bula dikelello
Ke dumetse gore le re etele fela ka the way le introducetseng gore le dira eng. Ke bone le gore it will be so relevant le situation ya sekolo sa rona. Moreover, mo curriculum ya rona, it says ba etse 80% practical and 20% theory. So ha le re le tlo perform, I was just so excited that they can learn in a different way ka yona performing, but as long as mo bofelong ba letsatsi message ka ba fitlhella.
Time ago, in a land far away, I'll go again. Sing, friends. I'll go again.
Community re santse re na le challenge ya gore batho ga senke ba tsebe gore disability ke ka mokgwa gore bonang ba treater batho ba nang le disability ka teng ba ba treatang ka re they are not human beings ke bolele bjao. God o creatile motho ka image ya hae wena o na le disability ba na disability, we are all the image of God. So Zes'khethu, you are making us proud and we ikutlwa re ba strong re bona nkare ha ikona re tla ba batho mo setšhabeng. Lastly ka Zes'khethu, what you performed, you gave us the message ka go save metsi. So the education e re fileng yona gore metsi a save you ya re nagana gore tlo e berekisa taba e re rute le bana ba rona mo kwa Thando, re rute di-caregiver tsa rona mo kwa Thando, re rute le di-parents during parents meeting. It spread the message you are save water.
Why are you washing it like that? You are wasting water. It is wrong.
Did you know that 79% of the earth is made up of water, while the rest of the 29% is made up of land?
Yes, you are correct. But remember that we cannot drink water from the ocean. Wow!
I am so proud of you guys. I am so happy to hear that you guys are learning so much at school,
Everything it was relevant. Re hope gore re tlo nna ntse re berekisana le lena so that re kgone go equipa bana ba rona ba bontsha ditalente tseo. Ke a leboga.
Some of the challenges that we would face during the preps for it all, then we began to unpack and see how can we fix those things when we did them during the festival itself.
What happens guys that final week is like Jesu haba methela ko sphambanweng, and then bambethelela uJesu. That's what we go through. We go through an almost a sacrificial sort of process, right? And what I mean by that is it gets so difficult. You at some point you just want to stop, you want to quit. My show was playing actually, and I remember that last week thinking, I don't think it'll click on a show. asiyeke, it's fine. Yabo, asiyeke. But it's the work we love to do, you know. I think that's what makes it worth it. These are necessary processes. The Friday night, for instance, when the festival happened, it rained, you know, and even though in our planning, okay, contingency, but even the contingency sometimes just works against you. High contingency, you know. We also had faced some complications with the venue itself, you know. So yeah, more people need to sign contracts. But jiga omong aso send the contract mara unza atla miracle, you know. And you're like, but how? That's not how we should do things, you know. So more you try your level best to create a professional platform, but you realize even with that, some things just come in the way. We had also not only artists as a costume, and then there were complications in that, but thankfully she delivered and we had costume, you know. Our tech crew, makeup, and you know, she had to figure out stuff, makeup wise, props wise. There was another young girl, it was organized chaos, you know. More actors arrive late, you know, others are frustrated because I was already lying. It was chaotic. We had to find Matuba front of house, babang batlogela, then you have to quickly get babang. Woo!
I waited and waited, thoughts running through my mind. How will she react when she sees me? I was at Como River that night, waiting for Ndobe. I was at... Just like what? I was at Como River that night, waiting for Ndobe. Who are you? Come out! Step out and...
Come out and stand like a man.
Come out and stand like a man.
Stop hiding.
Yeah, come out and stand like a man. Stop hiding.
Mm.
I've been saying this thing for years.
Day 2. Yeah. Maurice. Yeah. Mountain climbing. Yeah? Kunjelani kunni basindisena na.
Please.
Ala jump what? Jumping what? Babies what? Babies.
This year, we ended up really a team of 4. It was Bongani and I, and then there was also Kulufelo Makalemelo who we had last year, and then we brought in a new amazing young lady, Naledi Batabile Mukwena, and she was there with us as well. She's the one coordinating our social media. She's also our administration officer. So that just made everything better.
My name is Naledi Mukwena. I am 20 years old and I'm from Bloemfontein. So I am the social media coordinator and the administrative officer.
Okay.
And because Ronali passion, I also do part of acting. I think roughly going back to when I came here, I came to the festival last year, and the atmosphere, I think the first thing people experience is the atmosphere that is set up, right? Even when you enter the zoo, it's different from outside. Mm-hmm. Now, you have that atmosphere, then you get the general theater environment combined with the zoo feeling like, okay, this is something new, hence the name Zes'khethu, which is interesting about this year because there's different programs with different languages. So it covers Borona. So in us putting Zes'khethu out there, ibilena more engagement. In a sense that if you check our page, it's more colorful. You get a glimpse of what we do. Even if reposter reels we post just someone atwere a crate and you wonder, Lord, what is this person doing with this crate? Because I don't know a minute-long video that is going to give things away.
Yeah.
So we just give short snippets just so that when I let that thing out, okay, I need to go. I need to go watch this.
We are believers in delegation. So, ra delegator, because right, you can't do everything alone. That's not how the world works. You need help to help you put up your vision and make it something tangible.
So on a Friday, then our program is someone who warms up the audience when they arrive, and then umhuki then begins the night because it's in the evening. So our program is shorter. So Tomango Mhuki opening the gate for the audience.
Nicele mali nina. Nicele mali. Ngitheni ngemali.
Mkhulu, mina ngicela ukuchaza. Angicelanga mina imali.
Nina man. Ngifikile nithi nifunani. Mara ngiyabuza buswa nikhuluma ngimunye. Nicela intombi. Ewe. Mara nina abanye benu ngiyabazi yo. Wena ngiyakwazi wena. Mara abanye benu akhe ngibone uneke lo dlulile la Zes'khethu. Wangingazanga. Ukhuluma nawe umutsha wena. Wayungazanga unyaka lo dlulileko la Zes'khethu.
Quite an interesting character. He's an old man, and we did that last year. We saw it worked. So then this year we did it again because also we get feedback from the audience. When you talk to them and you ask them about what they enjoyed most about the festival, then they will tell you, the fact that it's Tungelene and then you are being guided through the program by Umhuki. So Umhuki is more like MC a festival, but it's a different kind of way because this one is more theatrical. Yeah, so he's quite interesting and it's performed by Unkantlaba Mishak Masago. He's quite an interesting young actor. One of those actors when you think about it, you're like, ish, they don't get much recognition. They need to get more of it, because of the talent itself. So yeah, he guides us through, but then we get to meet all the other characters through him within the festival.
Ngithanda phangelwa ngenyathelo kanti ukomni ngahlubuli. Mara mawazi ukuthi inyawo lakho liyanuka. Lipethi kuba lihlanga liwele phasi ungahlubuli. Sonke sizokupeyita ngithi siyagula. Siyapeyita la esondweni. Alright, nina ningahlubulanga kutsho khona ukuthi awa inyawo ziyanuka ningahlubuli bantwana bami. Mbathani ngoba
ngicela ngama challenges yabona. Ama challenges interaction ne audience because awazi ukuthi mawukhuluma nabo bayophendula bathini. And then kumele uyenze show ukuthi baba se story nesinye ngesikhathi istory kumele sidlale ngaso. So ukubasusa from this place to another sometimes isanok challenge uyangithola. So but izinto engihlangabezana nazo and then I have to deal ngazo zona lezi zinto lezo ukuze ifestival ichubeke. And kumele ngimake sure ukuthi bayayifila into esifilayo ngata like maybe kumele ngiyenze sure ukuthi baba semoyeni oyi1 nathi.
Only a man with a pure heart and a pure soul will pass the task.
So izinto ukuthi ngibhizi ngazo no ukuthi ngizithekela njani. Ifestival mayifika ngelanga lakhona uzabe sengimnandi. Uzabe ngazi ukuthi ngiyodila njani ngeaudience yami. Yona i-character lengidlala like I don't wanna like imnandi ngiyaenjoy I'm blind.
And it's really cause ngithi khulumile. Only a man with a pure heart and a pure soul will pass the test. Bantwana.
Ngiyaenjoy ngoba ngiyabathathathatha. I like into yama non-scripted. Ayikho scripted na directwanga improv. So nge-improv awuzenzela enye nenye into mara uya nge-theme ye-festival yangithola. Akumelanga ube out of line uthola ukhuluma into ukuthi abantu angekhe baphathe kahle yangithola. Mara ukudila ngabo ukufaka i-order grand ngithanda lokufaka i-order lokho ukuthi babese endleleni.
Angazi ukuthi inkosi nathi ichiki livane lala athukela ndibuthe awulenze sikimuze la ukuthi livane nayo angazi ukuthi kwenze njani ba nawe mgugisa la Siyasha mina ngibethele nitula ziyatshana
And this year, because we focused more on African religion, celebrating African spirituality, that was very exciting. So we managed to invite the audience to a church space, you know, and a church without the identity. What kind of a church is this? You know, to open it up and encompass African spirituality and religion. And we had a beautiful candle lighting moment. And for us, this was more of, it's more of a prayer, praying for our country, for South Africa. It was actually nice because after the prayer itself, then the audience gets to engage with the next piece that plays. And we had Toro, which is actually written by Ipilenki Amukhetsu. She then took us through a beautiful production which is called Toro, and Itoro then also looks deep into Ubumamsebelet.
Okay, so Toro, it first played at the festival in 2019, right? And at the time I performed it. This other girl called Lebo, brilliant actress. So Toro is celebrator bo mamusebelezi. It questions what happens before people come on earth. It questions the whole concept, euthanasia, assisted suicides in the black community, and where your moral standard when as a human being, right? Is it right? Is it wrong? Am I going to hell for this? Just bukreste, and traditional, how the two worlds meet.
Once upon a time. Hey, Kiri. One day. At the mention of Megdor. Accusing her of witchcraft and fueling the fire to their mother's insults by calling Masi. Finally, had that made her aware that He made a way. Hey, he comes from a family of brothers.
So this year, I performed ki Saramunkwe, Naledi Mukwena, Maurice Makyukyu, Li Tebukhotlaji. It was beautiful to step out. That was the whole point, actually. I really needed to see what it looks like from the outside.
Hey, but one thing I know, I do not want to end up like Masnunu. Hey, that level of ailments should be illegal. Hey, if my ailments become beyond prayer, medicine or Western or traditional, hey, just take a pillow, cover my face, go fitlhela mowa wa rogana le nama. You modimo tla intshwarela mara ke gana go dumela gore modimo a ka rata go mpona ke safara on my deathbed. Ke a gana.
Au mara mma. Kana wena le mitlai.
Ke serious nana. Ha se mitlai.
Mma. Kana sipati maloba fa ha ke boleleng. Umpoleletse gore that's what patients from her old age homes request. Baby tsa khathe ke so se I don't really care what it's called. Mara, nama matlonga ka ke murder and it's a punishable offense.
Would you rather I go to an old age home and I die in the hands of a complete stranger? And that process is called euthanasia.
You know, creativity is something else, right? You come with an idea and you're like, yes. And then when you sell it to the actors, you try your best to sell it to the actors. Some get it, some don't. I remember the cast being so confused at that first read, you know. There was like this, we get it, you know. And then next. The process of creating the work, the actors didn't make it difficult at all. They were always willing to play with me, you know. They were always willing to come up with new stuff. People always think directing is a one person's job, but it's a collaborative process. And I had the support ya Bongani. I also had the support ya Abuti Vice Monageng Motsabi, who was our dramaturge. They just make sense. They make it easy.
So the concept to go around the angle yokulandela umamsebeletsi was very exciting, which then led to the birth. We had a birth scene there, and the funny story about the birth scene is that it's a link. So it's something we came up with last minute to say what would give us a nice link to the next story that goes inside, you know. After the birth, we actually went inside to watch Ono Zaku Zaku, Yaga Akama.
And that is the title of our story today.
Igama lami Aqhamangezi ngisuka eUki edolophi encinci yase-Eastern Cape. Hanga kweza ndawo ngakoTsolo kanje. Ndi-actor, mandithi ndi-theatre practitioner because I do almost everything when it comes to theatre. It's not my first time doing it. This is the second time. Last year I was part of it. I was fortunate to be part of it. It was a beautiful experience. It's a space where what I learned last year, this year, elevate. The process yakhona imandi gqithi kutwami ngoba indlela izinto ezenziwa ngakhona mandithi indawo apho nongakwazi ubhala okanye ongazithembanga ngobhala afundiswe. Kukhona i-workshop, kukho obuadvice abafikayo, kukho noTabongs ngumuntu ofundisa kakhulu, no-Ips ukhona, zininzi nje izinto ozifundayo, including the practitioners that are already here. Zes'khethu Storytelling Festival, yazi kunabantu abathi nxa bendibuza baye bacinga uba yinto mhlambe children's theatre okanye it's strictly kwasuka-sukela nantsomi. And then when you get inside, you find there are different ways of telling stories. Show yam ngunozaku zaku. Oh, nozaku zaku. I love taking animals. I love into yoba sithathe izilwanyana sizinike ipersona and think uba bezicinga njani and all those things and bring them yabona up. Si story esinothando, si story esifundisa nge-sacrifice, si-story esinomculo, siyajayiva, kukho ne-sound, sawuncedisana, nani nizawuncedisa, kuzawuba mandi.
Ngomo. Bulela kakhulu ngomsebenzi niwenzileyo. Ondicingela nam. Nihamba, niyakulamsi. Yaze nifike phaa ningandihlazi. Nifike ke nibe humble, nibe ne-respect and continue having inhliziyo ezinhle. Nafemeli lena ingaze isokole ikhona. Zavuma ke hlobo zami inkomo, zayotsho. Zathi xa zifika zathini?
And then after Akama's piece, we had Ingaqolo, which is performed by Soyiso. But then this time around, because it played last year and now he wanted to elevate it, there were 5 performers on stage. And we had that during the tour as well. So it was quite a beautiful masterpiece, you know. So which is, it was where we ended our program on the day.
There lived a king in a village called Wanta. The king desperately wanted a son. In his desperation for a son, he ended up marrying 24 wives, who gave him 73
daughters. And no son. He needed an heir. Ceremony where he would spend days with them. Inkosi mayithi bantwana kumele nithi wandra. Inkosi mayithi bantwana sithini? Wandra. Bazwile inkosi. Ho. Only a man with a pure heart and a pure soul will pass the task.
On a Friday, which is day one, what's nice is Zes'khethu, we do it at night. So then it feels different compared to day two. Because day two, which is a Saturday, then we start very early, or 10 o'clock in the morning, with a children's theater program. So there you get to enjoy typical children's theater shows, you know. So a lot of kids arrive early in the morning. That's even before we meet Umhuki, you know. We just focus on children's theater, and we add applied theater in that. So we do educational theater mostly. So yet again we did Wonga Amans. Yes, Wonga Amans. We were on tour with the show actually, you know, to conscientize people about saving water, which is an important thing. With and the children's theater shows also, they were very educational. We had a young girl by the name of Chantel. She's emerging, she just got in the industry, quite an interesting young actress. And there's Snow Musa, we also had her last year. So this year then they collaborated to do their children's theater program, which was quite exciting. And we also had a performer from TUT. We also outsourced because we work with TUT in terms of sourcing out performers. So we then had a young actress called Tato. Also, she was just stunning as well, you know. She did quite a wonderful job as well because they then collaborated. There were 3 in the program. Yeah, and then from there, we walked to start the program, Yagamhuki. So then, you know how people won't come exactly at 10. We had an audience at 16 or 10, but it got added. By the time Umhuki Ayovula at 12 o'clock, we had a lot of people out there. It was quite interesting. So we started the program the way we did on the Friday night, but now the feeling was different because it's during the day. So Umhuki then takes them through, in again, takes them to Toro again, candlelight, you know, all that, those things go on, and then we go to the bath. But then something happened. Because we know our audience and we usually expect about 180 people a day, this time around, it was a shock of our lives because there were more people than usual. So we also had to bring in some adjustments to the program on the day because we realized there are so many people. So we then spoke to the other actors and we started to add other shows so that while they are watching another show, others can watch another show, then they swap and all that. So, which then helped us. We were worried in terms of we had more people than usual. And there was no way you can turn people back and say go back. You know, so this year we had over 400 people. They were there and it was packed. we know we usually got about 180, but now it was packed on a Saturday. So we adjusted the program. We had, after the birth scene, we had a person like Esther going there to do a very nice piece as well. She did a piece, but she was playing a foreign woman who's then struggling with giving birth. While that was happening, then we had a piece by Sarah. There's a young lady called Sarah. Sarah did an amazing job as well, because she was doing a piece about her journey as umuntu onesipho, umuntu othwasile and stuff, on a gift yakhe. So she told us a story with the perception that we are underwater and she's going here into us. So, it's a beautiful piece as well.
This is the story of Lesedi la Badimo. She grew up knowing her grandmother, and she would constantly visit her in her dreams. Ka le leng la matsatsi, Gugu visited her and gave her white beads.
So we had a lady by Lerato, Lerato Unplugged. She's got nice programs even on YouTube, on Instagram. She's a spiritual teacher. She teaches about us as, of course, we programmed to doing a con. It allowed us to bring that in. So she had a teaching, we included that where she gave a teaching to the people about being African and giving the meaning of other things in terms of amaphupho and all that, That was also exciting for Abantu to bring in this new thing, But before her, we introduced her through a choir. So we called in a choir which was singing a cappella music, Wamapostoli, clap and tap.
Igama uSibonjani, inja game, songwriter, singer, an all-round musician nje. Mbereko wami kuhle ngisho Zes'khethu, ke ngikhuluma isikhethu nami. Mbereko wami nje ukuletha umculo, ujabulisa abantu kube mnandi. Futhi mabaceda uku-acta lapha ba-relaxile, ngiyafikanyana nami ngilethe imood ngiyanditswembere. Drinking sharp ngiphuma eSprit, yabona? Mara music yonke lento iqale la ePitori. Ngiyabhiliva ukuthi ngalo mculo wami kaDrinking Sharp mina ngihila. 2018 so ngihlangane no uBongs Masango no Ipileng yibo bathe mfethu sithoma intro nasila sibawuze nawo uzosiblessa ngoba siyacabanga ukuthi music wakho uyarelate nanto esiyenzako le. Into engenza ukuthi ngivume ukwenza right ukuthi as much as sikhulele kasi like le ndaba zama storytelling nani thina besizwa kuthiwa nje sinini gogo uhleli lapha asizazi ngoba imakasana zikho la. So for mina bekuyi opportunity ukuthi shazi nami izongisondeza nyana at least ikhona into engizozifunda ukuthi culture this and that. Yeah, ngoba akumelanga siyeke abantu bangaphandle basitshela izitori zethu. Yeah, so sizipushe the way sazi ngakho. Well, obviously when it comes to performance, kumele rehearse and all of that. But when mang engage with the audience yami, I rehearse ngicabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe isegazini or mina nabo siyafilana. And this year so I pushed ukuthi push music engicomposing. Luckily most of the songs abantu bebarelate nazo ukuthi ish vethu phela le ngoma emthintile. Ngifila ngathi yeah barelate ngethu ingoma ezibashaye khona. So lento bengifuna yenza ke.
And Zes'khethu is a family festival, and that's where we wanted to focus and say, you know what, if families can be able to bring their children, they can be able to bring their grandmothers, grandfathers, anyone that they want to bring, that would be nice. It's shocking, but we employed 156 people. To tell the truth, it makes me emotional when I see this happening, I see this grow. Because we had wonderful suppliers as well, you know, people that we've worked with Singanamali when we began this, you know, when we did other projects. So now we were able to call in Abantu Bethu and say, now we have something, you know. And I also love the fact that because we managed to go to special schools, we included people who are living with disabilities, and even in our employees, we had people who live with their disabilities. So then, because we need to include more and more. Now, my audience in the festival, we had people who live with disability, you know, and for me it was exciting because we tried by all means to accommodate. Yeah, but also thank you so much for my Umandla. Yeah, Ipilenki Yamakhetu Matlaku, you know, we are co-founders, Mina naye, and she's the producer. Agalali lo muntu yasebenza. So it's beautiful also to see women leading and carrying the festival.
The beautiful thing about my partnership Libongani is it's such a funny thing. Our dreams are almost similar or alike when it comes to our artistic perspective, right? We dream big. We don't limit ourselves in terms of that. And so what makes it so lovely Zes'khethu to work with him in this process has been one of the greatest pleasures. you know, because we get to develop this beautiful idea and make it something palpable. It makes me feel great. It's a humbling feeling. Ke mo o bonang bogolo ba Modimo.
I see it going to a week, the whole week, Zes'khethu. And then we even camp there, like fires, you see, and then we sit around the fire at Sugulapana, and then like team, like bring that Africanness, but umuntu magangena vele. I totally experience it in full. Magahamba velo, awhamba shinchini. The audience they don't spectate the shows in a traditional way of okay, bona bahlezi lapana, and those are the performers but performer lapana. But at some point they take part into it. They get into the thing, you see. So all of their senses are entertained. So there is no way that this person will live the same.
And batsho Zes'khethu zizethu uyabona, so sibuyele umva sayizisiya iZes'khethu ebantwini kwi-tour. Sihambile sayisa kubo eMpumalanga, sayisa kubo eNorthwest. Obviously kumandi apha, ayike kumandi. I-festival imandi kakhulu, zininzi izinto ezenzeka apha. Not only ubukela nje show, you get to be part of shows. Ezinye show you get to be part of them, especially the theme ya this year. I'm excited. Iwesa abantu nxa bezawufika mntakabawo bephethe ukutya kwabo, into zabo zosela kuyilonto nje kumandi nje, uyazi bazizonwabisa kanjani. Babukele ishow, umuntu akamane sithi akrobe nendlovu ngaphayana, akrobe neflamingo, akrobe zonke izinto. I'm so excited.
Bawuzela mma. Umakhandlela wabantu akhanyile. Wow, waqina umoya. Lapho ucima umoya ngokufunda. Ma, indlela osikhambayo akusizwa.
And how was the show? Kita luza one by one, ne? And which one was your favorite?
The very first one.
Which one was that one?
The one with Mukulu and directing us through, and the very first beginning. Yeah, it was very nice.
Which one was your favorite?
Now I could say every item, like up until now, yes.
You had so much fun.
So much.
Safe to say you're coming back next year?
Definitely coming back next year. And
Awesome.
bringing family.
100%. Of Amasho Wongo Wabugelile, which one was your favorite?
My favorite show was Le Yamadozi. Sometimes we as parents, we say abantwana ukuthi benze abayiphilayo. Yeah, isho namhlanje it was powerful, more than that powerful.
We had GYC, Golden Youth Club, where they were performing Tswana dance and Zulu dance. So we had that whole hype and dance, and it was massive, an explosion of note. It was beautiful, you know, with a lot of energy, and people were excited. So we thought, you know what, we need to do this more. We need more young community theater groups to come in. We need more traditional dance in this. We need more stories, because it gets exciting each time we do it.
I would like to thank the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture in collaboration with the National Arts Council under the PESP program for funding us. We'd also like to thank the National Zoological Gardens, Kibone Baba refilling the venue and the space to be able to do this festival. Relebohale Tshwane University of Technology. Over the years, we have collaborated le bone. Raleboga the majority of our cast and crew but so it's beautiful hore even as the alum we are able to collaborate post varsity. We'd also like to thank the South African State Theatre. Each year baphela ba re adima some of the things that shotang ka tsona because they've been very supportive and helpful in hore adima the things we need, like our staging equipment and all of that. Dr. Refilwe Lepere, she was actually one of our very first sponsors. And I'm sure she's going to see this and watch this and laugh and cry at the same time. Our audience, oh my gosh, we have people that have been coming since 2018 and they are still there. And so a very big thank you to the audience that keeps coming. A big thank you to our cast and crew for just, doing their best. A very big thank you to our community theatre groups who came Lebone Bareva. A very big thank you to Mondli and his band because Lebone, they bring such a beautiful vibe to the festival. Oh, let thou art, but whom like thou art productions. We've known them since forever, but I'm so glad their contribution to what we do. There are children in 2080 who are going to look at this and say, oh my God, but it wouldn't be possible without thou art.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen. Kale dumelisa. Amen. Bathongere dumela. Amen. O kile wa bona o dumedise batho. Ebe bona ba sa dumele. Ba go tongolele matlo. Ba re amen.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom. My mom one tabedisa every time I start as Zes'khethu. Oh, my mom, Dikgang Elizabeth Matlaku. Yes, sis. Yes, sis. Yes, sis. Yes. Hey.
So it's the year 2002 when we are then starting to prepare for a festival year to 2023. Right, so it's, did I say, I said 2002 da?
Yes, I call her a lot when the process gets tough. Mama,